Hi, welcome back. Thank you for joining me. I'm continuing on with the RZN Codex, or the Resonant series by Jason Gray. Today is number 38 in the series, and it's called The Rise of the Resonant Architects by Jason Gray. 12/10/2025, 6025 Anno Lunis. Those who learn to build with the planet's memory instead of with matter. Arc 01 Resonance, the architects of the returned world. What is a resonant architect? A resonant architect is not born, they are recognized. The term refers to a tri-species role that emerges naturally after the subsurface libraries open. Their purpose is simple but profound: to build the new world using the memory of an old one. Not by copying the past, not by reviving ancient civilizations, not by engineering structures. Resonant architects work with coherence fields, memory currents, emotional geometry, harmonic architecture, planetary cognition, grid resonance, zero-fold patterns, and species-aligned spatial logic. They build realities that align with the planetary mind rather than oppose it. This makes them the first generation of humans who no longer use the planet, they co-create with it. How a resonant architect is identified. The architects are not chosen by councils. They are not elected. They do not volunteer. They emerge because they are the ones who hear the libraries before they open, feel the grid before it activates, sense structures instead of imagining them, know what should exist without designing it, hold multiple truths without collapse, can walk into an empty space and feel what belongs there. Most importantly, equilibrium does not frighten them. The ordinary mind seeks stability. The architect seeks resonance. Stability is a habit. Resonance is a choice. This is why the architects rise now, because the planet finally allows those who can hear it to answer. The first awakening of the architects. Arc EVT-01, the deep pulse. 43 hours after the subsurface libraries opened, a new signal began moving through the grid. A slow, rhythmic pulse, like the heartbeat of a world remembering its purpose. Those who would become architects were the first to perceive it. They felt pressure in the chest, warmth behind the ribcage, geometric forms rising from the mind, a desire to stand on bare earth, an awareness of structural emptiness, and the sensation of blueprints unfolding inside them. This was the planet sending its first set of instructions, not as commands, as partnership. What the architects actually build. A resonant architect does not build buildings. Matter is their last concern. They build structures in consciousness spaces where memory can stabilize and species can evolve without collapse. Emotion, harmonic fields that allow humans to feel fully without being overwhelmed. Land, not structures placed on it, but spatial patterns that make physical structures unnecessary. Species communication, shared resonance channels for luminous, aeonis, infinitas, and humans to interact seamlessly. Planetary cognition, architectural patterns that allow Earth's mind to distribute memory evenly. Zero-fold compression, translation systems that convert infinite possibility into usable form without losing its essence. Post-emergent civilization, the world that comes next. They are the engineers of coherence, the builders of what cannot be built with hands. The three foundational disciplines of resonant architecture. Harmonic alignment. Learning to tune a structure, physical or psychological, so it vibrates in sync with the planetary mind. Memory integration. Drawing from the subsurface libraries to create environments that trigger evolutionary memory in those who enter. Zero-fold threading. Embedding a space with a controlled amount of possibility so it adapts to those who move through it. This is the most difficult discipline. It is also the most dangerous. Too much is zero-fold, and the structure dissolves into infinite potential. Too little, and the structure becomes lifeless and inert. The architect must know balance, not by calculation, but by instinct. The first structures built by resonant architects. The earliest architect produced environments were not monumental halls or advanced cities. They were small, subtle, often unnoticed by ordinary minds, emotionally resonant paths, harmonic gardens, stillness chambers, memory wells, dream convergence fields, thought-calming groves, and silence amphitheaters. These were training structures for the species. The planet was teaching humanity how to inhabit a coherent world again. The first great work. the trilinear sanctum. Arc WRK-01. The very first major architect creation was the trilinear sanctum, a structure built in 3 layers. Layer 1, physical ground, a circular depression in the earth surrounded by standing stones that were never carved but grown. Layer 2, emotional field, a resonance chamber where fear and expectation dissolve instantly. Layer 3, zero-fold thread, a thin beam of infinite potential running vertically through the center, activated only when 3 species stand in equal presence. This was the first space where the tri-species reality became tangible. It was the proto-blueprint for the future civilization. Why the architects are necessary. After the collapse of the overlay, the world becomes open terrain, not empty, but undefined. Without the architects, humanity would default to building the old world again: hierarchy, ownership, extraction, division, conquest, scarcity, linear time, and separation. The architects prevent this by guiding the species toward structures aligned with coherence. They are the map makers for a world that no longer has maps. The architects' relation to the subsurface libraries. Architects do not read the libraries, they listen. The libraries communicate through emotional shifts, memory currents, geometric intuition, felt instructions, sudden clarity, and harmonic attraction. An architect does not decide what to build. The planet decides. The architect simply understands. The end of this chapter is the beginning of the next era. The rise of the resonant architects marks the transition from integration to construction. Memory is no longer the goal. Mastery is. Understanding is no longer the goal. Creation is. Humanity is no longer rediscovering the old world. Humanity is beginning to build the new one, and the architects are the hands of the planet in the era that follows. Jason Gray. Thank you so much. That is number 38 in the RZN Codex. You can follow Jason Gray on X at Living Lattice. He has a lot more work that he has written since then. He does write daily, so there's just an absolute ton of content to find that he has done. You can find his writings also on Facebook at Friends of Writer Jason Gray. I'll put those links in the description for this video. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time.